Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, but he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach. Like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her and I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should all
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is
You're already thinking about it too much.
Friday, June 28th. Big show for you today. It is Freaky Friday. It is Feel Good Friday. It is, you know, Freaky Friday is not. Listen, that's what they used to call Fridays in the weight room. Freaky Friday.
Oh,
It looks a little different than that. Feel Good Friday, Loosey Goosey Friday, whatever you want to call it. We are here live from our friends in our home at Indigo Papers. IndigoPapers.com, and you get any of your CBD and Delta 8, Delta 9 stuff from their website, IndigoPapers.com. Big show. Friday. It's the Friday before 4th of July. Travel starting to get a little hectic. A lot of cars on the road. Hard to even get from Lafayette to Baton Rouge, it feels like, because everybody's doing something, whether they're moving, they're going to the beach, or whatever they're doing. 4th of July weekend is next weekend. People are kind of starting it this weekend. A lot of sports news. NBA draft happened. Bronny James is a Los Angeles Laker. I think that was the most expected move of the draft. I don't know why. Me and Lloyd talked about it. I don't know why people are up in arms about it. It's a second-round pick. If they said, hey, we're going to draft him 5th overall.
Yeah, we'll dive into it.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. But congratulations to Bronny. I think that's a really cool thing, whether you hate LeBron or you love LeBron. LeBron is the first person in the NBA to play with his son at the same time, which is a really cool thing. So congratulations to them. LSU football is just creeping up. You saw the Josh Williams gave the entire team some jewelry. The LSU, some chains. So that's a pretty cool deal.
They used to be the chain gang just with the shirt. but now it is with actual change.
With actual
Hey,
change.
gifts look a lot different than those,
they do.
old school bowl gifts we used to get.
Yeah,
And look,
they do.
them shits used to be good back then too.
Yeah, but you had to get to the bowl to get that. Now you get this before you even start camp.
Yeah, it's a little different. You get the teammate gifts now. It's a little different now.
Yep. With football being right around the corner, if you haven't signed up for NFL Sunday Ticket, you missed the boat.
Yep.
Should have bought it. Should have signed up for it because now the NFL just lost a lawsuit where they could pay close to, if not more than $14 billion with a B dollars to the customers for getting out of their contract with NFL Sunday Ticket. Kind of a wild situation happening in the NFL that I think has been just really hiding in the shadows of really nothing. It hasn't really been talked about much. Obviously, it's going to be talked about a lot more. NFL feels like, of course, they haven't done anything wrong, and they did it in ways that they felt like was beneficial to everybody else. It's all about the dollar. $14 billion is a lot of money. The NFL makes a lot of money, though. So $14 billion, if it is indeed what they have to pay, I'm sure they'll be able to get rid of that.
They don't want to pay that.
The
money.
way the way the bank's set up is my checking and my savings. I don't even have to worry about any of that. They will be paying whatever bill they need to pay and moving on. A&M baseball still
Totally disagree. We'll talk about it later.
I know.
Yes.
I know. You don't think they're going to pay?
I think it's going all the way to the Supreme Court, dude.
I think if it goes to court, they lose. And maybe pay more.
I got like a third view on that. So
We'll
this
go.
will be good. Yeah.
We'll go. A&M baseball still without a head baseball coach. Seems like they're kind of narrowing their search. It seems like they've maybe even found their guy. And I think we mentioned them at their school as a potential, hey, this guy could be a really good head coach somewhere. That's Dallas Baptist. I don't know if that has not a done deal, but it feels like he's kind of picking up a lot of steam. Makes a lot of sense. Dallas Baptist is always in contention. They're always where they need to be, and he's already in the state of Texas and kind of understands that environment. So we shall see what happens with that. But other than that, hey, did y'all listen to Flo J and Lil Wayne's song?
I did not.
Actually, not bad.
I didn't know
Flo
they
J
had
is
one.
pretty good.
I didn't know they had one.
Flo J, it just got released, I think, today or yesterday.
I think it dropped today. Her first album, quote unquote, dropped today. Has like
And
6
he's
songs
a
on it.
feature on the album.
Yeah, he's on one song, but I mean it's old Wayne.
And honestly, she's pretty good. It's like your actual rap. It's not like she's not doing the whole
Sexy
I'm
Red.
gonna be so I'm not gonna be so outrageous. I guess she can't.
Our
'cause
friends
she's-
over here at Gordon kind of gave us the
Look at that.
process.
Look
of
at you
what
just
she
slide that
does,
thing in
you
there,
know.
huh?
When he kind of gave us the process of what she does and how she did it, I'm not surprised that it's probably pretty decent. And then now you just need a hype machine behind it, right? I haven't heard it though.
And
Tell
look,
me it's good.
Wayne's been hyping her, right? Wayne has been on her, but I've never really heard. I mean, I heard she, obviously the Gordon McKernan commercial,
Yeah.
Super Bowl deal, all that stuff.
But if she was able to do it that quick, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. She, I listened to it today. It's pretty good. Pretty good. We can't play it. I'm sure she'd let us play it.
Yeah, that would be a Gordon conversation. It would
Wow.
only be pub.
What if we call her and say, hey, Flo J, can we get rights to play your music, go on our show? That'd be cool.
Yeah, get an intro song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
Cordell
look
wants
at
to
that.
make one for you.
Just coming
Our
up with
guy.
ideas. Coming up with ideas on here. It's pretty good. J. Mitch is back in studio. If you see him we have a lot of technology. It's great. Beautiful thing. You can see us from anywhere around the country. And that's where Jared's been. Around the world, technically. International. You've been in international waters for a wedding.
Yeah, it was good.
You had to hurry up and get back to go do your other job in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because an SEC team won, they had a parade, so you're on their time. You come back, and now you're finally back here. Travel is set aside for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be
Pack the
kicking
bags
it
in
and
a little
chilling,
bit.
Yeah.
We're here for a while, and
You went to a wedding
Yeah.
in the Bahamas that.
got him.
Yeah, got him.
I knew it was coming.
The guy
It
who's
never.
bobbling-
It's unbelievable. Now, hey, we're really missing out on the boat by not having.
I was
We
bobbling
need a
it.
counter up here.
I wish the camera was. That actually would have been a fucking great thing if the camera was on me. When I was trying to catch it and I bobbled it and almost made a
Yeah.
hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Like a home run.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, see that one. That one's a little smoother than this. That one was smoother than this. At least I knocked that one over with looks like kind of athletic. This looks super unathletic.
So you're saying you were point shaving then?
Yeah, I was trying to. I had a lot of money on that game. I'm gonna check my accounts. I didn't even know what the betting app was then.
People want to blame Shohei for this.
Yeah.
Mikey started it all.
Yeah, that's it. But you were at a wedding
Yes.
in the Bahamas. No. In Cabo.
In Cabo.
Whose wedding was it? People probably know who it is.
Well, you guys might know him, or maybe you don't. I would imagine you might know him. Stephen Ridley, and now Alexis Ridley. Friends of our show. They got married this weekend, so it was a beautiful union. It was a great reunion of like some LSU people, bro. We got some throwback people that I hadn't seen in a while. Really good friends, hadn't talked to decently a good amount, but I hadn't seen in a while. So that was cool, man. It was a good time.
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, really played in the NFL, so he played for the Patriots, played for LSU. Had a bunch of LSU guys. Also had a bunch of Patriots.
That he did.
Guys. One of our friends, Chris Matulis, who played at LSU, is a pitcher here before he transferred out. He's there. He's known to be the life of the party.
Yeah.
Pretty frequently, and Ridley has another friend that is known to be the life of the party, and they're pretty similar.
Similar in stature.
Yeah. And that would be Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Better known as Gronk. And it just feels like they were meant to meet.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that Ridley might have gotten a bill for a certain particular tree that was there that wasn't left the way we found it.
You know, it's funny. Usually you say like a plant or like a bush. They're talking about
like
a tree.
It wasn't shrubbery like a bush on the side. It was a legit.
Not like a broken potted plant or like a table.
It was like pot.
Bumped into
rooted.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a full-on tree.
Yeah.
taking this with me.
Yeah,
breaking a tree.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it was not the same way we found that thing. I can tell you that.
I saw a video of Chris in the tree, Matulis, in the tree dancing.
Yeah, Chris was in the tree, dancing. Truman was there. Lloyd, he had a.
How was that? He probably had a great
don't
time.
miss, bro. Truman don't miss, bro.
Yep,
you know.
dancing.
Truman is another straight up party.
How are they connected?
I mean, I guess they.
It's Truman, dude.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
but
Truman.
it's not just him. It's Truman. Marquette was there.
Yeah, Marquette was there
and
as well.
And Ben, right?
Ben Starter.
Ben Starter. Wasn't Ben the third one that was there? So anyway,
Yeah.
what I guess hunting, maybe Monroe, Natchez. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't really know.
I mean, Truman it's what he does. It's like the
I can understand Truman, but it was a group of them.
Yeah.
You know, the squad was together, the Monroe squad.
Yeah, the Monroe boys.
Monroe
and
squad.
then, I mean, Ridley was as obviously known as like avid outdoorsman hunter.
Right. He used to show up. I remember I used to show up
Still does.
for a workout, and he used to show up to his workouts with the trailer and the four-wheeler still in the back of his truck at practice.
Came straight from
Straight
hunting.
from there, dude. Like,
Oh, I've been up. I've been away.
Four-wheeler in there. Boom. We're gone. We're there.
Who was
right
your-
in front.
Who was your boy that was hunting and had to leave to get back to workouts and he still was late? Wasn't he hunting in something that was very illegal?
Oh no. Yeah. So that was no. Not let's easy with the alleged illegal stuff. Okay.
Statute of limitations are probably
Seth
passed.
Frugier.
He was a lunatic also.
He didn't play with. He was
play
after
with
us. He's from Crowley. Yeah.
That's all you have to say about that?
That's all I'm saying about that.
It was a good time, man. We had a good time.
That's good. You got some sun? I see.
Yeah, you know, your boy likes to know where the shade is, and I find that shit pretty quickly.
Oh man,
I had me a good time. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Weather was good?
Yeah, the weather was great, honestly, man. I thought it was supposed to be hot. Looked up the weather, and I was like, wait, this can't be right. Let me go ahead and recalibrate this thing. Bro, it was like 75 to 80.
Wow.
The entire time there, windy,
wow,
obviously.
but not rainy.
No.
Beautiful.
It was actually, I think it rained the morning we got there, like when we were landing in when we got there, but the rest of the time it was beautiful there.
Nice. And this weekend you're just chilling.
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd, what are you doing this weekend?
Feet up.
Same, chilling.
Chilling.
Staying in
Actually,
like
Saturday, I'm going to work.
A-Town.
Deontay Spencer's football camp back home, but that's
nice.
about it, yeah.
Nice.
After
How's
that,
he doing?
chill. He's good.
He's good. Feels
Yeah,
good.
Good.
Back
Good.
on the.
Back on the just need the opportunity, which
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance of.
There you go.
Oh, dude, with the new rules in the NFL, like he's going to
The
be
new
able-
rules are great for him, bro.
Yeah.
Like the new rules are about as good as they could come for him.
Speaking of the NFL, let's get into that, Lloyd. You don't think they're paying that $14 billion?
No. Everything that I've read from Mike Pereira, who's been covering, he's the one that kind of brought this issue to light, where I don't think anybody even knew about it.
Him? Wasn't Ian? Is it Ian Rappaport? Wasn't he a big?
Yeah,
on
I think
that?
those are the two guys but obviously with Mike being a lawyer, and he's been doing like pro football talk for like the last 30 years or something like that. He started the website, but he was like the first one to really be on the case of this, and he was on McAfee today, and he wrote an article about it today where it's. I don't think that he's saying like the NFL would probably be a little staunch in their approach to this because you said $14 billion, and it's like.
Well, no, that's what they can pay, right? Because the verdict came out, right? And they said, I guess, whatever the amount was, you can triple it. And so that's what they did. I'm not saying they're going to pay the $14 million, but keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no.
Billion.
Billion with a B.
With a B.
With a B.
That's not
like that's a big dent for anybody. I know the NFL makes a ton of money.
Look, they don't want to pay it.
No, and it's not something that because now you have. It's not Roger Goodell. It's Roger Goodell's 32 bosses that are going to be like, wait, what are we doing here? What are we paying for?
Here's the thing, too, that what happens with that. And I'm glad you brought up the Mike Florio point because he did bring this up, too, which I thought was pretty cool or kind of this nice little caveat to this thing is this has been ordered already at this point, but the problem is you still have the same ongoing situation. So if you choose to kick the can like we usually see with large numbers like this, we're only adding more and more years and more money onto this thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to get to a verdict and to the other side of it sooner, which you would imagine if you're not going to keep kicking the can, you're probably going to be coming out of pocket something.
Yeah.
How much? I don't know. We'll see. But
I
think they're going to end up paying something.
Yeah, they'll pay. They're not going to pay $14 billion, maybe, but they'll pay something.
I just know that they've already appealed for this to go to.
No doubt, they're gonna do everything they can not to pay
right.
it.
But they're not going to keep kicking it because the longer you kick it, the more years you're adding on, and if you don't win it, you're paying all of that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, from this article, it would be, as it stands now, it would cost each of the 32 teams $450 million a pop.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
No.
They don't want to do that. Right?
Yeah, and I guess a part
Such
of
a large number.
yeah, a part of this is because look at all the people that watch the NFL.
I know.
And I guess that had Sunday ticket. Like this is what we were talking about this before the show. It's like one of the few times I could have actually joined like a class action lawsuit.
But how much? Like, what do you think they're going to get paid if? Let's say they do pay out the $14 billion.
Somewhere between I think $3,000 and $5,000 for like per consumer, like per person.
Wow.
And now that doesn't factor into what like businesses.
McGee gets it right.
Yeah,
3-2. I think didn't he have Sunday ticket?
Yeah. Doesn't factor into what like businesses would get on it too.
Yeah, so the business they had the numbers for the corporate side of it. I think it was a little bit less.
Yeah.
Than the $14 billion. So I think those are their two classifications.
Yeah, they're two different ones. Yeah, but the regular everyday consumer somewhere between like $3,000 and $5,000.
That's a nice little
so imagine like
check.
So
dude.
if you were I don't know, say in 2021 you said
because that's gonna help a lot of people.
I want to get I'm gonna get the NFL Sunday ticket this year, and you kept it for 2 years. Well, you paid probably.
So you had to get that the rule. You had to have
No. I'm just saying, like, just in the case of that you did, like, say you kept it for 2 years, and you're like, it was cool, and you didn't get it last year for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden you can get into this. Well, you probably paid about $800 out of pocket, and you're about to make somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
Yeah, and it's the way that it'll be paid out. It was like under the current verdict, ignoring interest and fees that would make it bigger. The payment would be
Mike Pereira, whatever the fuck you call him.
Yeah, Mike Pereira.
Pereira.
It's broken down for each year that each customer bought Sunday ticket during the window from 1 to 12. For each year that a given consumer had Sunday ticket, there will be another unit of payment up to a maximum of 12. So if you've been rocking with Sunday ticket
for 12 years,
you're getting that money in perpetuity for the last 12 years of having Sunday ticket. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can get that 3 to 5, and then
times 10.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Good for them.
So yeah, Bob,
loyal customers, you can get rewarded for your loyalty.
Never the way you thought it was going to happen, but it's on the way.
And now you just take that money that you get and you go get now the Sunday ticket, which is probably better anyway right now.
How are they not? How is this not a huge deal? Like I feel like this is huge. Like
it's getting there.
14 Bs there behind it, bro. Like I feel like this should be.
I think it's getting there. I think
that's crazy.
Great by the NFL, however they did it to keep that thing.
They were just ignoring it.
Oh yeah,
they're like, oh come on, you get Sunday ticket. You want to watch the NFL? That's how you do it.
Great by them for somehow distracting us, but. It's a lot of money.
Which really, and I mean, if you get paid out and you've had the Sunday ticket for 11 years, you're about to be able to finally call that bookie back and be like, look, dude, I'm good for it now. Or I'm opening up an account again. I'm back.
I don't know the full of this, but I do
give it right back to the NFL.
I know like the NFL was like arguing on their side of it that this was never meant to be like as mainstream as it is and like get out like the way it is. And I'm like, bro, with the entrance of like fantasy football and betting, everybody's got the ticket now.
No doubt.
And everybody wants to see everything now.
Right.
And the price you have it at is like, it's high, bro.
Yeah. Well, here's
And then,
the thing.
but it's so high and it's so like popular that you still like.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna front this bill.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
What is Sunday Ticket? What does it cost?
It's like $350. Well, on YouTube TV, it's like $350 for the year now.
Wow.
So it's like 80. That's what I'm saying. It's high, bro.
$350 for the year.
Like 80 something a month. So you're like, man, that's high. But then you're like, but there's not shit else I do on a Sunday. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: on a Sunday Ticket, yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter. You can still get the games that they're doing.
The local games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
But
still on Sunday
but
Ticket.
I think that was
You
the
always
NFL's
got the local games. It's the out of
No,
market.
Yeah, I
games.
think
That's what I
NFL's
mean, out of
argument.
market.
The argument was it was for. I think and I could be completely wrong, but what the way I interpreted what I heard about it was their argument was it was for fan specific, team specific fans that were obviously out of market. Like if you are a Houston Texans fan and you live in Seattle,
Yeah.
you know you wanted to get the Sunday Ticket to watch them. But the way this thing's grown is that same fan is like, well, I could watch my boys and 3 other games.
Yeah.
Psh, I'm popping that on.
Yeah.
And that's what they do now. And so now it's like you're asking this astronomical price from the regular person. And it's like, whoa, you're making way too much money for what
Right.
this is right now.
Right.
But they are because they've made a ton of money off of it.
Damn.
And the other thing is, if they continue to kick the can down the road, they're going to find a way to be able to make this money that they can just pay off from.
Well, that's how they're doing it. They have NFL
revenue
Network
source.
Plus, right? They have the whatever that app is, and they have the Red Zone. All these different things that they're adding on for you to watch different. And football is king, right? Like that's what moves the needle. That's what makes all the money. So they're going to try to make that as much take as much entertainment from that as they can, whether that's streaming services, shows, right? Now there's a mid-season Hard Knocks, right? They have a preseason and a mid-season. Now they have like the QB shows, and they have Life in the Football or whatever on NFL Films does. It's the big moneymaker, and so they're going to figure it out, but maybe not. Hey, Sunday Ticket, $150, $100 for the year, whatever it is. They're going to figure out that other $250 that they're missing out on somewhere else.
Oh yeah. The one place it's not coming from that we did here though is it's not coming from the player salaries. So when they get to the end of the CBA or whenever they try to figure out the cap again, the cap may go down because they're not getting that same revenue.
Right.
But from what's already been paid out or what's already in contract, it won't come out of the players, which is good.
That is good.
So players get a win right there.
Which it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. Of course, but if
they're not,
if it were possible,
no doubt,
know they would
because
be
they're
trying to
not in
find a way.
negotiations of your TV
exactly.
deals. You are.
Yeah.
We're just the employees, basically.
You say it's not going to come out of the player's pocket. Where all those fines go?
True. Maybe
they're about
teams,
to up those fines. Oh, that visor's a little too
where
hard.
do all the
Socks
fines?
ain't right.
Where do all the fines? Are they
listen.
supposed to go to charity?
I thought they were supposed to go to charity of their
of Roger Goodell.
Of their choosing. That's what I thought. Or maybe that was just an MLB thing.
No, nobody's ever followed up with like, where did my fine money go?
No, maybe I'm sure someone has. I don't know.
They were charging the veterans to be on the field to hold the American flag.
Wait, what?
Like whenever they did like a Veterans Appreciation Day or like Military Appreciation, like they have like an entire week for that, or a month. They charged the whatever veteran service, like the government essentially, like to be on the field for the right for them to be there. And so whenever that got exposed, they're like,
business is
you
business.
can't do why are you
standing on it, baby.
Hey, I mean,
you want this TV time?
This is prime real estate you got right here.
So
everything's got a
promoting
price.
your brand,
right?
Well, our brand is the United States of America. It's still your brand.
Yeah, you're
it's
essentially paying
ads.
for
It's on my business too.
No free ads, baby.
No, that's right. So that's where the NFL, like in my mind, has always found a way to make money. Whether even if they didn't need it, they're always doing something to be able to charge somebody. And to think that money from player fines was going to charity when they're charging charities, I find that hard to believe.
Sidebar, can we just talk about this too? Speaking on money in the NFL, is Dak really going to get this $60 million?
Yeah, let's run through that. Let's run through that.
What's your thoughts on that?
They're saying he's gonna get a contract worth $60 million a year.
Yeah, he would be the first player in the league to get it.
Well, why didn't he just sign a deal?
I don't know. He did.
So why would we do this again when he's done nothing to prove otherwise? Like, why? Where's this whole? I'm not saying Dak's a bad quarterback, but what has he done to be worth that?
So
based off of Mahomes and all the other guys.
Yeah. So here's my question. All right. So if we know that for whatever reason he's reaching that threshold and $60 million is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of the number he's getting, if you're the Cowboys, are you doing it? And if you are, why? And if you're not, why not?
Am I the Cowboys and giving him that much money?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, why not?
Because he hasn't proven – he's a great quarterback, but he hasn't proven to me that he can take us to that next level.
Now
I'm
I
paying
can
a
pull
guy
this up.
60
Now
million.
I can pull this up because if I'm his agent, I'm gonna argue the other way around. Obviously, he hasn't won the elephant in the room,
Right.
which is the big one. But
Right.
over the last 5 years, so
Right.
not like one, not two, but his like numbers, like I'm talking huge measurable numbers,
Yep.
are what and what with Mahomes, outside of an MVP and 2 Super Bowls. So if I'm the agent,
Well, those
I'm
three,
if
those
I'm
three
the
things are pretty important.
That's
no, I know they are, but they're not. And you don't get paid for Super Bowl.
No.
That's not in your contract. That's
Right.
That's
No, I
money
understand
out,
that.
right? So if I'm the agent and I slide that across the table, why would you tell me no?
I would say I don't just value stats. I value some of the intangibles. I value other things outside of just pure numbers. Yeah, your numbers are great. We're going to pay you the way your numbers deserve you to be paid, but you're asking for $60 million. That we don't value that because we don't make any playoff runs. We don't win any playoff games. I'm not giving you your contract based off winning Super Bowls or winning this. I'm giving you a nice contract. You're making a lot of money. But I'm not going to pay you the six. There's no reason to give you a raise when you've only done the same things you've been doing when we gave you the contract in the first place. You haven't done enough to ask us to renegotiate.
Okay, so all right. So then once again, I'll slide it across the table and say, hey, here's what you call the top of the league.
Yeah.
Here's my numbers as well. So you're saying that I'm not doing these things when in
No.
the playoffs?
Yeah. Yep.
You're not paying me for the playoffs.
Well,
I think that's everyone knows
And
that
then I
too.
would say, if I was them, I'd say, okay, I'm not paying it to you.
Okay,
so go find somewhere else. Go kick rocks.
So then, as a Cowboys, do you think he would get it somewhere else?
No,
Why not?
I just don't.
Do you think he would get it somewhere else?
Do you? You obviously do.
Here's my only thing. When I think, do you think he would get somewhere else?
Based off of what Derek Carr got from the Saints,
Boom.
yes,
I'm glad you brought this up because the reason why I'm asking that is if I'm the Saints, I'm literally just trying to think right now. Like if I'm the Saints and it doesn't go well with Derek Carr and we're paying him 40 plus already, and Dak becomes in the market, shit, he's better. He's way better than what our quarterback's been. Mm-hmm. Well, how much? Let's do it. If I'm the Raiders right now, I don't give a shit what Patrick Mahomes is doing. How much? Mm-hmm. We need one. Let's go get him.
I understand the
my point
value
is
of
like
it.
my point is like if I see those numbers and this is what he's doing and this is where he's at and this is what the market is. I mean, think about it. We got Trevor Lawrence and all these dudes making 50 plus. Like,
no, look, I understand that. I really do. You asked me if I was a Cowboys, what would I do? I don't think I am not making a decision, but if I was hypothetically making a decision,
I would.
If the question is he worth the $60 million? No, I don't think so. And the Cowboys may pay it to him. I wouldn't pay it because I don't think he's worth the $60 million. Now, could he go get it somewhere else? Sure, I wouldn't give it to him, but the value of him increases based off the team's needs. 100% understand that. So, I wouldn't do it, but I mean it's probably going to happen.
And
I don't think he's earned 60. I mean, he hasn't done anything to where I'm like.
Have to have him.
I think they're in
quarterback.
such a shit position because I think the way they handle some of his early stuff kind of put him with all the power, and then obviously in the contract he has now, they can't trade him, right? He has a no trade clause. He has all this stuff in it, so like they can't make a move. So it's literally okay if we don't pay him. Well, then what? Do we go draft a quarterback? Do we have to give up the world to get a quarterback? Is that quarterback going to be good? Is it going to set us back another 10 years? Like, so then you're in that shit predicament too, where you're like, well, we know what we got, and all we're asking for is like that icing on top from that entire cup. Mm-hmm. If we get it just one time, like, is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Or do we completely roll the dice, close our eyes, and say, let's try again, and maybe we don't hit for another 15 years?
Mm-mm. They would honestly spin it to win the one.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not sure I think he's 100% worth it. But damn,
what's
the
the
alternative of it is like,
no doubt.
What are you gonna do?
No doubt, right? Like he's in a prime position to negotiate, and that is why they are doing what they're doing because he holds all the cards. They are in a predicament. They know they have to win. They have guys on their team that they're young that they're gonna have to pay, and time's kind of running out. And
I mean, like
your
literally,
starting quarterback, you need to keep him there because if not, you don't have time to do the other stuff. Yeah,
I'm just like we're talking about moving forward, right? Like Trevor Lawrence, as of now, is getting $55 million a year.
Crazy.
So if he's getting that, and Dak walked to the table and said, I want 60, where do you fall? Because it's probably got to at least be at 55.
Yeah.
So we're talking somewhere between $5 million where you're like, man, I don't want to give it up to him, but fuck, the market already says this guy's got 55.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the number's so absurdly high.
Yeah.
But it's like you look at the rest of the market and you're like,
yeah.
That's where they may. That's why I think some signs point to them not re-signing Dak. But that's where the more you kick the can down the road on this thing, the more you're going to have to pay because Trevor Lawrence just set the market. Joe Burrow set the market.
Yeah, right.
And those guys keep coming. These guys keep coming to the table every year.
Because if you do it before Trevor Lawrence, like I think you were 40.
Well,
like, okay.
I don't think so. Why? Because Jared Goff is sitting at 53.
Right. Yeah. So that's why they could have done this earlier.
So the longer you wait, the next guy is coming up to the table.
When Tua gets a contract.
So it's like, all right, that's a tough spot to be in trying to figure out that contract.
Yeah, market is rapidly increasing.
Yeah,
right?
and
rapidly.
This is one of those, and if you're the Cowboys, like, what are the chances that a premier quarterback hits free agency? It doesn't happen. Like, once you find one that's good, they stay on the team that they are on.
You want to know how high this is how high the market is right now. Let me show you where, like, he would basically sit at. $46 million a year. You know who's making that? Kyler Murray. He's making 46. The next number on top of him is Jalen Hurts. I get it. He's got an MVP and he's gotten to the Super Bowl once. But if we're literally talking off of body of work outside of that, especially outside of that 1 year, I don't even think they compare. Mm-hmm. So you're like, all right, if we're sitting over that, if we're sitting over 46, if we're sitting over 51, shit. Like, where do you fall?
Yeah.
Like, where do you stop giving it to him?
Listen, he's going to get it. I just wouldn't give it to him.
Right.
And that's me because I just don't. I mean, I don't think he's bad. I think he's good. But the market dictates how much you're going to have to pay, and the market is dictating the next. So the next chance is $60 million.
So then you would be willing to say, you walk, we'll figure it out.
No, not anymore. Not after that list.
Wait, so then you would pay him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to pay him.
No, I'm saying
for me.
Yeah. You.
Yeah, after that list, I'd probably pay him. Fuck that.
That's the conversation. That's literally the conversation.
That's literally. They probably get to this.
I mean, I didn't see. I didn't have the numbers in front of me. I'm just going based off of that.
They probably get to that and they start talking about it and they start looking at it like, fuck that. Let's go get dinner, dude. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I don't want to try to look.
I don't want to have this conversation anymore. Like, I don't
Let's
want to
go
talk
sell
about
a few.
this.
Or you know what? Say fuck it. We're gonna give him $57 million. Fuck it. We're just not gonna get to the 60.
But then what if he comes back and he's like, no, and you're like, bro, I'm so off of this.
We're making you the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Take it. 60 is just a number, but we don't want to pay it.
I mean, that's where
I feel like that's what they've been doing, and that's why there's no ink on the paper yet.
Because that's what happened with the Giants.
So this is the last year of his deal, or he has.
I think this is his last year.
If he extended it, he may have extended it 1 year. I don't really know. I don't know.
I just know that it's a conversation that keeps coming up, and what you're afraid of if you're the Cowboys is you end up in a Daniel Jones situation where you have your quarterback taking up the majority of your cap, and it's not making a difference.
I guess he signed this in 21, 4-year, 160 and 21.
And by the way, he's sitting at right now $40 million a year. So at the top is Joe. And then Trevor Lawrence. They're both sitting at 55.
All right, so this is last year.
So, like, I get it. You can say the top end, not both of them. You can say the top end of Joe has been better than Dak. Can't say the top end of Trevor's been better than Dak. All right, so when you sit there and you're looking at, well, these are the two that's making it, and then I can give you 5-year comparison with the unquestioned best quarterback in the league, it's hard to sit here and say, damn, he don't belong, he doesn't deserve more than 55. Yeah. And it's hard to say that.
And he's at the age where it's tough to do like a Mahomes deal where you go 10 years and spread it out so you don't eat up all of your cap room. He's 30, so you're not going to give him a 10-year deal, so you can't really stretch the cap the way you'd like to. Yeah. They're in a tough spot. But
here's the deal. Mahomes going to restructure his.
Mahomes is sitting back. He's like, bro, please take 60. Mahomes is like, please take 60. Please take 60.
Yeah.
Just take 60.
And they would probably do the same thing with Mahomes. They would just give him another like team-friendly type deal to where they make the money work so they can continue to sign players.
Tom Brady said that, right?
Drew Brees did the opposite.
Tom Brady made a whole bunch of money. Tom Brady said in interviews like, hey, I wanted to take less or structure a way, or I didn't make a bunch of money up front, so that we could spend more money on salary caps to field a better team, right? To win championships.
So we can pay Zeke.
Now that is, yes, he did it. If that was his reasoning behind, like there could be maybe he's just trying to make it sound great. But
I really think Tom was doing that.
Me too.
But I think Tom
showed in his career.
Tom had some other things working for him. For one, his wife was richer than him, so he could take a pay cut, if you will. Right? Being able to be looked at as the best quarterback in that market, in that Boston market, and actually getting the endorsements and everything that he's gotten off of it. I'm not saying that you can't make up the money that he didn't get in contract money, but he made a significant part of it to supplement what he was making in that as well. Yeah. So I think that also helped as well. You know what I mean? Like, you look at some of these guys, and I'm not going to sit here and say that argument isn't for someone like Dak. Like, bro, you playing for America's team. Like, there's plenty of marketing in that. Right? So, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not in a somewhat, if you want to call it, similar space, but, like, guys that come to the table and they're not looking to take the pay cut don't necessarily have those other intangibles attached to him.
The bargaining chips, but Dak Prescott has his personality is not somebody that you're like, oh man, I have to have him, he's a star. It's kind of, Dak Prescott, like, he's probably 50-50 in the fan base of this exact conversation where he's not the most liked player.
Yeah, but I think that all has to do with him.
But I'm sure some car dealership is like, you got Dak Prescott in the commercial.
Time out. Yeah, because like just me. Like, I feel like if there was, I don't know, 2 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl attached to him as well with the exact same act, everybody would love him to the point of no love, even with the same thing he does now.
Let me ask you this: do you think Dak is he a winner? Like, is he? Do you think he's? Do you believe Dak? Do you think he's a leader?
No.
Yes and no. Yeah, like I can't say he's not a leader, bro. Like, that guy's going through
right.
So much stuff in his life, not just on the field but off the field as well.
He got his ass
I'm
kicked.
not sure that he's a, I guess, prime time performer. I'm not sure that he's like the. I'm not sure he's like the. That he's got like that killer instinct to him.
Yeah, that guy where there's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and you're like, don't give Dak.
Thank God Dak's on the field. Like, I'm not sure that that's how I feel about him. Like, when I look at him play, I'm not. Like, I personally think when it comes to these quarterbacks and it comes to what they've done, like, I feel like there should, like, the league should find a way when they get to the next CBA, obviously, to find a way to say, hey, these deals are structured as such, and you're eligible for this amount more if you have these playoff things attached to you.
Well, and the team could do that. They could put incentives in the contract to be like,
all
right,
but the
Dak,
players will never go for
exactly.
it under the current like structure what
like,
it is.
Dak, if you win a Super Bowl, here's that
because that's
$5
basically
million.
But my point is that's just basically incentives, and that's like, well, I'm not.
Somebody gonna pay me.
I want it in
writing. I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Not what I could be
because
worth.
I personally do think it's very obvious, like, for the organization and for the player, like, there's a whole bunch more opportunity, money, and everything when you get to and you have success in the playoffs. The team makes more money in those situations. Your name becomes bigger in those situations. All of that stuff. So I think personally, all of that stuff needs to be in contracts, especially quarterback contracts, with how crazy they've gotten. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, tough spot.
That's every sport, right? Every market's going to continue to go up. The more money. The more money teams have, the more money they're going to spend, and the higher the market.
And that's where you can almost get into a little bit.
Running backs are going opposite of that.
Yeah, but when you have somebody that has set the market, and this is where you can kind of get into the LSU baseball part of it, where you see Schlossnagle get $3.5 million for going to Texas.
No, it's rumored. We don't know his deal.
We still don't know those real numbers yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but but it's probably going.
If those numbers right, they said he was getting 3.8.
Yeah,
it was 10 years. Supposed to be a 10-year.
I gotta believe that the Texas came in over what, Vandy. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Corbin.
Tim Corbin.
Over what Tim Corbin's making right now. I gotta believe they did, but we don't know the numbers yet. I wouldn't be shocked if he came in over it. 3.8 is big though.
Well, yeah,
it's a big jump. That's a big jump for the market.
I mean, that goes from 2.5. That's almost. I mean, that's
almost $1.5 million.
It's almost It's almost 1.5 million more. The next highest guy, like,
he's making double than what Jay's making, like, reportedly.
The normal thought would be, okay, we're gonna give you $3 million a year, right? Which still would be
a big jump.
That takes
jump.
Yeah, jump in the market. I think that anyway, 3.8. He's making $3 million a year, whatever it is. To your point, what you were saying, you didn't finish your point.
Oh, I was saying and the reason I think it could be that high is because of the two teams that were bidding on him. You have Texas and Texas A&M both going, oh, you offered 3, here's 3.5. You offered 3.5, here's 3.8. Like, we can do this all day. We have the same amount, like we have the equal amount of money. But I was wondering, now that A&M is back in the market, and if you're a coach, do you not kind of use that as leverage to be like, all right, if it's 3.8, I just won a national championship. If you're Vitello, if you're Jay.
Vitello and Jay are about to get and renegotiate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Jay just renegotiated, so Jay can't
He
go
could.
back to your AD this year unless somebody came to him and tried to get him prime away. Now, you know how serious that had to be like a serious. The AD would have to really think that he's leaving.
Right.
You know what I mean? For them to go renegotiate. Now, you go out and you do something. You can make it to Omaha, make another run this year, going into next year. You know, same type of shit because there's always gonna be big jobs opening.
Right.
And you know, but I don't think this is the time for him. But now Vitello, no doubt.
And I would say too, like the rest of the country, just like you said though, may not have Texas Longhorn money or may not have Texas A&M Aggie money. They're all watching that situation and waiting for the real number to come out, and they're all very thankful probably for what it is in the sense of the market just jumped because of this move actually happened.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right.
So it's only going to help the rest of the market anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you can get to that number or over that number. You're probably going to get more than what you're already getting.
Right, because that's the other thing. If it's kind of like the similar situation, if you do believe that Jay is capable of making another run to Omaha, which is why you hired him and why you gave him a raise the first time, and wins again, and then there's another job opening. It's like you didn't pay him the first time. Now the second time, now he's definitely going to be offered more money than he's making, and you have to almost pay over market price because you waited.
Right.
Well, first off, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't happen because it obviously does. But if you're only paying on what I think you can do, you're probably not the smartest businessman. Right? So with that being said, there's a lot of guys that have, I won't say a lot. There's Schloss's resume.
Yep.
So for those guys with that resume that don't seem to be getting out anytime soon, those guys are chomping at the bits right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, please. Because I know I at least have his resume, and if I'm still here, you obviously still believe in me, I should be over that.
And then there's coaches out there that probably are like, hey, I've been here for so long. Like, yeah, I want raise here or there, but it's not about the money to them at this point, right? Like,
Yeah, this is where
you know, Van Horn's not like banging on his 80s doing and say, hey, listen.
No, but his agent is.
Yeah, I know, but like, hey, look what he got. They just gonna come back and say, okay, yeah, you're gonna get, you know, hey, I want a raise. Let's renegotiate. But it's not gonna be, hey, I'm gonna go and tease some other schools. Like they know that he's probably not leaving. No, there's not that many coaches like that.
I'm sure A&M thought the same thing 6 days ago.
See, I'm
not sure they did.
I don't think
with the connection, I'm not sure they did.
Yeah, and Schloss has been.
Yeah,
he's moved around.
A whore.
Van Horn's been at Arkansas for
ever.
I mean, not as long as Corbin.
I mean, look, I got to feel like, look, as soon as that move happened where the AD switched from TCU to UT, that had to have been on the back of A&M's upper management mind. Like, at some point, they're probably going to come trying to poach him unless David Pierce just goes ham and that UT team just goes
From
crazy.
what the rumors say is that the David Pierce was
strong.
and David Pierce was out mid-season. Like, they already knew that. So A&M knowing that, okay, we don't have to wait till the end of the season to know if they're going to fire him. They fire him. They're definitely coming after Schloss. Like, yes, they definitely prepared for that. It didn't shock the people probably behind the scenes.
Oh, I mean, I saw an interview with the Texags reporter today that was, I mean, he was
stunned,
floored, and disappointed.
Yeah, but those are the media guys. I'm talking about like.
But Texags, they do a great job of covering the team, but they're literally in the Texas A&M facility. And he was like, I had personal conversations with these guys. Some of the staff was in my wedding. He's like, I'm just so disappointed that they wouldn't share something like this with me and totally blindside me for people that I would call a friend. It's like, buddy, how do you think the world works?
Who said this?
This is the guy from Texags.
Which, I mean, there's a bunch of guys from Texags.
I don't know who it was. It wasn't Billy Lucci, but it was one of, I guess, their baseball guy.
I told you Billy Lucci was staying at the hotel that I was at in Wichita.
I'm sure he was working.
They're like I know. They're like 3.5 hours. We're like 3.5, 4 hours from Omaha. And obviously, we know. Very hard to get hotel rooms in Omaha. Airbnb is a move. I recommend it. Suggest it.
Definitely
we had a great time.
We had a better time than if we were in a hotel.
No doubt. No doubt.
No
We
doubt.
had a great time.
No doubt.
Boy, I lived on that scooter.
The scooters.
Boy, the scooters.
Yeah,
were
the bird scooters are
huge.
great, except you just couldn't take it all the way as far as you really wanted to.
Couldn't go as far as you wanted to.
Yeah.
But boy, you got me some good times.
I forgot where I was going with that train of thought.
Oh, Billy Lucci was at.
Oh, yeah. We know how hard it is to get a hotel in Omaha. So he was staying up there, and he was, doing his deal on the phone, yapping. So I wonder if he knew. Heard the rumblings then.
I just feel like even if you didn't hear anything, right after Texas fires their head baseball
Makes it
coach,
official, yeah.
You should be like, where else would they look?
And if you don't,
Why,
you're
or
very
why
naive.
wouldn't they?
Yeah,
look
like,
here?
we can't
Yeah,
be blindsided by this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you wouldn't, you'd be that's being naive and entitled. Honestly, hey, why would he's good here? Like we're better than them.
well-
Like, that's being a little arrogant.
And that wouldn't shock me either if Texas A&M was on that side of the coin where they're going,
Why
why
would
would
he
he
leave
leave
us?
to go to Texas?
Yeah,
like
right.
we're building an $80 million renovation to the stadium. We just were one game away from winning the College World Series. Like he has everything he needs here. Money's not an option. And next thing on the docket, like he ain't leaving. And then Christmas comes and there's no presents under the tree. It's like you thought Santa was real this
Or
whole
maybe-
time.
maybe
Like, you
it-
got to go out and buy those.
Maybe that shows how arrogant you can be when you actually have a ton of money and resources, to where you're thinking like some of these things, these outside factors don't really matter in these situations. Maybe because it doesn't. Like you said, we approved the new stadium. We gave you all these resources. We're going to give you even more resources.
You're winning.
You're
You have-
winning.
yeah.
No, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Well, now that he is gone,
Oh yeah, he is.
and he's not the only one, right? The whole team's basically leaving.
Well,
When do you think those guys are going to make a decision?
That's what I was going to ask you. I think when
Better
does,
question is, when do you think they're going to announce it? Because
Yeah,
I think,
right,
'cause I
right.
think the decision's
I
made.
think that's the better question, no doubt. When is it going to be announced of where they're transferring to? I think that they're probably going to wait maybe about a week or two more. Just let some of this say let's just not keep pouring fucking.
Hey, take the phone calls. Too,
Gas
from,
on the
Hey, make
fire.
sure you take the phone calls from other teams. You gotta look
Go
interested.
think of a couple visits.
You gotta be interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Take the visits.
Yeah, go see if
See what
go
it's
see somewhere
about.
else.
You know, I'm putting you in this two hole though. So
Yeah.
just go ahead, and do what you want to do.
I think they do it after the 4th of July. So after next week.
Yeah, probably. I like it.
What about you, Lloyd? And that's announced that they're going to Texas.
yeah, I think early July is the last time you could put your name into the portal, but you don't have to claim a school. But yeah, I would imagine as soon as he kind of gets settled in, it's going to be announced, like it's going to trickle out that probably the top two on the list. Would you say that
Yeah, they're going.
Lavalette and
Grahovic.
I mean, because people are mentioning that LSU could get Grahovic, and it's
Who's saying that?
well, they say it makes sense. Like third baseman, young, LSU
It
has
does.
a
The
spot
last
open.
three third basemen have
Yeah.
been top 10 picks. I get that. But it doesn't make sense when you think of why would he do that? I mean, you're going to follow someone that's more you're familiar with, which is Nolan and the staff, and Schloss and all those guys are going. You're following something you're comfortable with, and you're staying in Texas. Isn't he from Texas? Grahovic? Like,
No, he's from California, I believe.
oh,
I think he's a West Coast guy. Pretty positive he's a West Coast guy.
And-
either way, he ain't coming.
And according to
Okay.
Tiger Droppings, Jay was on a plane to Atlanta with a connector to California, which is where he does a lot of his portal work, and obviously he has ties over there. So maybe he's going to see Grahovic. He went home.
That's a stretch.
I can be honest
I
with you,
know.
though,
That's
bro.
a stretch.
That's a
right
great
there.
stretch.
Let me be honest with you, bro. I hope, and this is just me, maybe you kick the tires, meaning maybe you make a phone call, email, text message, smoke signal, something. But I hope we're not wasting too much time on those guys that had, let's
Me
say,
too.
150, 200 at bats for A&M this year.
Well, and I
I'd
think
spend time on the guys like from Louisville, the shortstop from Louisville.
Maybe some of these guys that did not play for A&M this year that have put them there, maybe them. I would hope we're not spending too much time on the ones that had significant part in what they did this year.
Yeah.
Hard for me to believe they're going anywhere else, but
Yep.
either staying there or going right down the road to Austin.
100% agree.
I think that the other reason people may venture to think that they wouldn't go, like they hit the portal, and obviously that's the easiest line to draw is like, well, their coach was leaving, and then the other rumors are that he told some people on the team and not everybody.
Well, I'm glad you said that. You want to finish your point?
Oh, it's just that they could be like, this guy's a dirtbag. I don't want to go play for him.
Well-
and I never wanted to be at A&M because,
Great segue.
yes.
You knew where I was going with that.
Take it.
So we're talking about some people knew, some people didn't know, some people didn't feel like they were respected or something. I don't know, along those something along. He says, I'm blown away by the disrespect. He being Travis Chestnut. He's the guy who bunted with 2 strikes. He was a real spark plug in that inning. It was a 2-strike bunt, which is crazy, but
Which was called from the dugout.
Which was called from the dugout. I didn't have a lot of confidence in him getting a hit there.
And he said as much.
Yeah, more confidence with the bunt. And look, it worked out, didn't it?
That interview, that mid-inning interview was explosive.
Yep.
It kind of got underplayed, but that was explosive. He was like, well, nothing else has worked out. Couldn't go any worse.
Yeah. And that's why if you're Chestnut, you're like, God damn. Like,
And that's what he says, right? He goes, I'm blown away by the disrespect of Schlossnagle. He said, not once in my career was he a respectable man to me. I stuck with him because I wanted to be an Aggie and in the SEC, but quite frankly, I didn't stick to him. I stuck to Mike Early and Nolan Kane, the assistants. What do you got on that, Jay?
Well, I got a couple things. So you would only hope as a head coach that you hire guys to never, quote unquote, and I'm not saying this is where he was when it came to the kid, and I truly don't believe that's really where he was because he put him in the lineup. But you would only hope that the assistants and everyone else, the support staff that you hire around him, is under full understanding that your job is to always believe in these kids.
Yeah.
Is to always, as they're on this team, be doing the work. And so is Schloss as a head coach, too. Like, I'm not ridding him from that responsibility as well. But I will say this. As that guy in that situation, almost got him again. As that guy in that situation, like, maybe he saw not just the performance, the actual way that this kid went about stuff and how maybe he didn't like the personality and or the energy that he brought. And we also forget, like, we're missing one huge outfielder that they could not plug in. So if we're not plugging him in and we got to take the next man up, maybe this is what I have.
Yeah.
So I went with what I had. I played you, but I haven't been a believer in you for a while.
Yeah.
All right? And maybe that's where he was. Now, I'm not saying that, it's okay to write the kid off, but, like, I know we all have played for coaches that know good and damn well they're not going to get much production out of said person, and they still think said person is the best person because they come to the field with the greatest attitude, smiling, working their ass off, and does this all the time. It's hard for me to believe.
The coaches know the limitations of players sometimes.
Right. It's hard for me to believe that he looked at him as somebody that has been a model player in that environment, and that's how he approached him every day, because I've met Schloss a few times, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think the guy's really good. And I know people that work for Schloss, and I know what type of people those people are. So it's hard for me to sit here and think that if they work for him and they like working for him, which I know for a fact they do, that he is what this player says.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you don't get that side of the bucket as well, because guess what? Nobody's perfect. I know some people that probably think Nick Saban's an asshole right now. I know some people that probably think the same thing about Les Miles, Paul Maneri, Jay Johnson, all of this, right? So you can't be perfect, but I'm on the believer inside of it's probably a lot more of the we'll go to war for this guy than it is the I think he's terrible.
Right. No doubt, dude. And then you go to someone who's frustrated, he's upset. There's guys I play with that didn't like coaches, or guys I play with that didn't like coaches while they're playing and like them after, right? Like, it's just coaches are hard on you sometimes. They coach hard. The good ones always have guys that look back and say, damn, I respect what he did for me. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes there. I don't know, I don't know Travis Chestnut at all. I don't know his personality at all. I've met Schloss a few times, but I don't really know his personality. I've never played for him. So I'm not saying he's not telling the truth. I'm not saying he is telling the truth. I'm just saying from my experience in these situations, players who maybe were coached tough and their people were hard on them have a different perception of what that coach was trying to do.
I think from what he's saying, like, there isn't like any crazy. Remember, like the Kim Mulkey, like crazy allegations. You're like, all right, bro, give me some meat to the bone, because you saying a lot without saying anything,
right.
And then you got the meat, and it was like, bro, get out of here,
Yeah.
right? I think this kind of situation and what he said that actually went down, you're like, that probably happened, but like, there's probably way more stories on the other side of it that make me say I'm gonna go with this guy anyway, and to make sure I don't walk whatever steps it is that you took to be looked at that
Right.
as that, if you will.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's a couple of players that have played for Schlossnagle that are coming out and saying, obviously it feels like are more loyal to A&M, but it was Boomer White who was with him at TCU and then came to A&M, and this is what he had to say. It was yesterday or today, but he's like, Schloss is not a player's coach. He's not a guy that you look at and you're like, man, this guy will never leave me. This guy's ride or die. These aren't terminologies I would use to describe Jim Schlossnagle. Schloss is an emotional man who can't control himself in high-pressure situations. He's been open about that. And so that's Boomer. And then J.B. Moss was a player on their team this year. It was the best team in Texas A&M baseball history, followed by the ultimate betrayal. So, obviously, they're a little hurt.
They can be hurt. That's fine. That's hurt because he left.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But then it comes out, you're like, well, when I really sit back and think about it, sure, we had all of this success, and Schloss was the head coach, but, I never really liked the guy. You kind of put that to the side if things are going well, but it does feel like that in Schlossnagle's case, he had preferential treatment for the players that he deemed were good.
Everybody does that.
I'm saying, I know everybody does that, but I'm saying not just you're 9. It was 1, 2, and 3. And it's everybody else. The guys that he brought with him or wants to bring with him, I'm sure they love him.
Well, here's where we'll get a big – I personally think where we're going to get a big feel for this thing. Let's see how many of them dudes that's in the portal right now go their ass to Texas.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see that. Right? When this comes out and we see who all goes, that'll tell me a lot right now. So either they're all assholes too, or that should tell you a lot about the head coach.
Yep.
And that's where you can get into some of the things that have been rumored to be true of him telling some players and not others. I could see that happening based on the way that some of these guys are talking about Schloss and the way that some of them are.
That, I'm telling you right now, that didn't happen.
What?
Him telling other players.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not. There's coaches all the time that will tell players that maybe he trusts more or has respect for, who has whatever reason, tell them something that is about to happen and not to others, right? Whenever in 2011 when we didn't make it to the postseason, we didn't get a regional bid. Maneri brought me and Nola into his office and told us before the selection show that we're not getting picked and we're not going. He's like, y'all can't say anything. I gotta wait, right? And he trusted us to that. We've earned that, right? I'm not saying that these kids have, but that happens. Just because you weren't privy to some information doesn't mean that he's a bad coach.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and this is my true belief on that is, Mikey's 100% right about that. But at the end of the day, if that bit of information got out, how much is that gonna hurt Maneri? What are the ramifications of that information getting out before it became public? Nothing. If the information of is that I got a new job and I'm gonna move over here comes out before.
Oh, no doubt.
So my point is
he definitely didn't tell him.
That information never was told.
Right.
Not that. Dudes do not. They're not gonna mess up their own bag, bro.
Right.
That information was not given until after.
I agree. I'm not saying he.
I know you're not. But I'm just trying to give that example of that happens. Not to that level.
No.
That stuff don't happen.
He didn't tell him shit, and what they're bitching about happens anyway. Is basically what I was saying.
Yeah, it's it's open season on Schloss if you felt like you were one of the guys that he didn't like or you didn't like the way that he treated you as opposed to other guys. Well, fine, I could finally say whatever I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Because there's no ramifications now. I'm not going to Texas.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But your point, we'll see what happens where they get whoever goes to Texas. We'll know. I think we already know. We already know it all.
We're not saying we know anything, but I think we
know. Let's read through the tea leaves. LSU football, or LSU. The board approved a 3-year extension for the president.
And there it is.
President William Tay. He's done a great job.
Been a great ambassador.
Yep. I think he's been. I think he's done a great job. I think has been a really good addition to LSU. I think he's great at promoting them, and he loves sports. I think that's a huge thing, embracing the education in sports. I think that's the ticket. Let's not fight one way or the other, say one's better than the other. Let's just say, okay, they're both going to better our university, and I think he's done a really good job of that. Making $750K a year with unspecified bonuses.
And I think that
good.
Well, yeah.
That's a good place to be when nobody knows about it.
Unspecified bonuses.
And
What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess whenever you would bring a national championship for somebody that you, I guess, were quote unquote in charge of or oversaw the hire of, it'd be like, okay, this is kind of my deal too. All of this revenue that comes in, like I deserve a piece of the pie. And for Tate, like I think he's been an excellent addition because of what you had previously.
Yeah.
Like where you had an LSU president that was actively kind of trying to harm the university in which he worked, which
is wild, huh?
like he was just F. King was just an idiot, and you had to get him out of there. And Tate comes in and shows you this is what LSU can look like if you actively try to help the program and what you work for.
Yeah.
And the interesting caveat of this is John Carmouche, a new Governor Landry appointee to the board, raised concerns that the deal does not include potential penalties before voting yes. Like, why even say that?
Yeah. Why? Did that
I mean, I
come
think
out?
we know that Landry's agenda has certainly been anti-LSU, and that he wants probably to get him out and somebody that he wants to be the president because you've seen Landry, who also is an idiot, go against LSU at times where it's like, why would you go against the LSU football team about a national anthem in a game that they aren't even playing in, and that they never do that anyway? When he was talking about going on the field before the national anthem, it's like, never seen our football team do it. They haven't done it in the history of the world.
Right.
And so like this man has his own agenda, and it feels like he's trying to weasel his way into every nook and cranny to make LSU's worse.
He got a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
So
unanimously,
Couldn't get this one.
Couldn't get him out. Hey, do y'all, before we get to the seggies, have you ever had a yellow watermelon?
No.
Did you know they had those?
I've heard of them before. Like
I had no idea until Allie accidentally got one from the grocery store and opened it. She goes, "What the hell is this?"
That would be
And I was
a
like, "Oh
shock
my
to the
God."
system.
And she was like, and she looked at the tag. It says yellow watermelon. Like, I don't know if I'm just an idiot, but I've never seen it until this happened. It tastes like a normal watermelon, just yellow. So then I've had two separate times, literally two text messages today. Brother-in-law got
Yellow
watermelon delivered to his office, and the guy who delivered it said, "You got red meat, yellow meat." So red watermelon, yellow watermelon. So I'm like, damn. And then I got another one, and our office in Lafayette got watermelon, and someone asked if it was yellow watermelon. I was like,
someone just straight up asked the question.
Yeah, this thing. I had no idea. And y'all didn't know either, so it makes you
I've
feel
never
bad.
heard anyone ask that question when you present to them, I got watermelon.
Yeah.
That's like
Is this the new thing?
white grapes or red grapes?
I
People ask
yeah.
that. That's what I'm saying. I've never really heard the
Yeah.
Or like red apple, green apple.
yeah. Never heard the
I'm glad
you got yellow watermelon?
I'm not the only one that didn't know this.
Have you eaten it?
It tastes just like a watermelon.
Yeah. Yellow watermelons get their color from beta carotene and are often sweeter than red watermelons with subtle notes of honey and apricot.
Wow.
High in water content, crunchy and juicy.
Wow.
Native to Africa.
Maybe the yellow watermelon is the way to go.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to try it. Like, try it.
That would be a shock if you didn't know it existed. And you cut
That's
open-
what
yeah.
got me off. I was like, wait a minute, is this like rotten?
I don't know if you can eat this. Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's not. It was good.
It looks, I mean, dare I say it might look better than a red watermelon.
You just gotta get out. You gotta get the fact that it's supposed to be red. You know what I mean? That you grew up, everything you grew up and thought it was only red. Now you gotta get that out of your head.
Right. It's like when Heinz changed the color of ketchup.
Yep, got me for a minute.
Yeah. It's still, people are like, oh, this is disgusting. I was like, it tastes the exact
Yeah,
same.
it got me for a minute. But ketchups do taste different.
Yeah. The Heinz ketchup.
Heinz the best.
Well, it has sugar in it, like an absorbent amount of sugar.
Yeah, they all do that, right?
Well, I think that there's ways that it doesn't have to have that. Like there's different
Like,
versions
I'm not a huge
of,
Hunt's. I'm not a huge Hunt's ketchup.
Yo, wow. I'm not on ketchup, bro. I can't do it.
Oh, you don't like ketchup?
You don't put ketchup on anything?
Are you a sauce guy?
Not a sauce boss.
No, you don't like any sauce.
I mean,
So if
Like, you don't like buffalo sauce. You don't like.
I mean, yeah, but like,
so you're raw dogging
Moderation.
like Chick-fil-A?
oh yeah. 100%.
just straight. I mean, look.
yeah. Dry
Each
to the
their
bone.
own.
why-
So you
that's
probably
the way
don't
it
like
looks.
Chick-fil-A that
Dry
much.
to the bone right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Like, so you're plain Jane.
Plain canes?
Plain Jane.
So you probably
No cane sauce. I don't really like cane sauce actually
No.
either. But I do ketchup instead.
No.
You know.
honey mustard?
I throw Tony's on my canes if I go canes.
Well, yeah, because you ain't getting your flavor from anywhere
Yeah,
else.
that's what I tossed it at.
No
yeah.
mayo, no mustard.
Oh
burgers and
no,
shit.
hell no.
Hot sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
I mean, yeah, I like
barbecue?
barbecue sauce. I just don't like the sloppy over mess of it. So just give me it usually
You
go
want to
to
dip
places-
it in there. You pick it on the
Yeah,
side,
bro.
dip it in
You
there
like you
before-
usually go to places and places usually overdo the sauce. So it's like the sauce is the main dish,
Attraction.
and you got like a side dish of the chicken. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I wanted the chicken. I wanted to taste the sauce. So I usually just, for the most part, go no. But I'll do barbecue sauce. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll fuck with that.
All right.
Yeah.
I know you're plain Jane.
No, but I'm with him in. No, I do sauce. Like everybody, I would say everybody does sauce, but I don't do it like those lunatics that put the ketchup on top of their French fries. It's like an all.
No, I hate that.
Like that's like
I don't love
where did
that.
you grow up? And
Like if I were to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm probably gonna get. I like buffalo sauce, but when you get the wings, it's
Buffalo.
It's a soup. It's a buffalo
Yeah.
soup. I'm like, bro, I don't want a soup.
Chunky noodle buffalo.
So I'm gonna probably get the dry seasoning, something like that.
Yeah, but if I go sauce, I always go on the side just in case, a little dip,
Yep.
give it a taste.
Okay.
I'm not trying
Fair
to.
enough.
I'm not trying to have a liquid dinner.
Yeah, that's me.
Fair enough.
Come at me in the chat. Yeah,
Yeah,
I said
get
it.
on that
I said it.
sauce.
Yeah,
Jay, you chilling this weekend?
yeah, kicking it. After the I'm
Finally, right?
I'm gonna work the. I'm gonna go with my boy, help him out, work the camp on Saturday,
You emojis chilling.
and I'm kicking it. after
What
that.
camp?
Deontay Spencer.
Deontay Spencer.
Oh yeah, beginning of the show.
Norbury,
you
Louisiana,
go.
Westgate
Yeah,
football.
we're here.
Yeah,
What
Oh,
about
well,
you,
talk
Lloyd?
to Jabari Antoine while you're down there.
if he's there, we'll talk to him.
I think he's
You gotta
coming
talk
back.
to him. You're the one that can
And
experience.
oh, I forgot his name. I'll look it
What
up.
are you
But
doing
the
this weekend?
Number
Nothing?
one safety in the country.
Yeah.
The guy that I think I wish I could think of his name, but two-sport guy,
Yeah.
baseball.
Oh
and,
yeah, he was
and,
here on a visit, wasn't he?
and he was. It was down to Texas A&M and LSU
Oh,
allegedly, and
in
now with
baseball?
so now for both baseball programs. 'cause
No,
that's
does
the-
Texas jump in there now?
That's what I was going to say, but now that it is no Schlossnagle at A&M, it feels like the door is wide open for LSU
Right, that'd be great.
to get a bona fide baseball player and the number one safety in the country.
We've been down this road before.
We've seen it happen before.
In this room, maybe.
We've been down this road in a good way. We've been down this road in a bad way. Mo Hampton was that guy. Right? Didn't work out.
Yeah, whatever. Mo Hampton is.
I'd say I'm not trying to throw dirt on the kid, but he's probably the first one that we've had that to come here and do both and not succeed.
No, right.
Finding a lane.
Look, you,
at least one of them.
you, Chad, Chris Jackson. People forget
Let's say
about
Chris Jackson,
Yeah.
Spencer Ware.
Spencer
Spencer
Ware.
Ware. I mean, he was great on the football
God, we had
field.
we had another football player too. Was a running back after Spencer Ware, wasn't it? We had
No, I don't
another
think
running
so.
back.
I don't think so.
Would they play both?
Yeah, but I think he was a better football player than.
Yeah, I think he was out there for
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple of weeks
Yeah,
for
I
baseball.
don't even think he got into a game, dressed out for a game.
Well, my point is usually that's why I said I don't want to throw dirt on Mo, but usually the ones that we've
Yeah, it works
gotten
out one
here,
way or the other.
one way or the other, they've excelled at.
Yeah, and he's taken it to the extreme where he's tried to go sports specific 2 separate times at 2 separate schools. So he just tried to quit one or the other, but he still couldn't make up his mind. And whatever, Mo Hampton's goated for 2019 when he had to come in for Grant Delpit against Florida and played big boy football.
He did.
He did.
He did.
That he did.
Best game of his career.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. I'm going to the houseboat this weekend.
Big houseboat guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Big
it.
houseboat guy.
I'm gonna be man and grill all weekend. It's flat top and a grill on the side. So but
Tank top, flat top,
I usually just
halter top,
I got all the above.
crop top,
Halter top? Drop top? Drop top?
spaghetti
But I'll
strap.
be on
Which one you
that- I'll be
go?
on that black top.
You do
Eggs.
breakfast too?
Oh
Black
yeah,
tops are nice, boy.
nice. Got some hash browns.
Y'all got
shredded
one there.
hash
Y'all
browns.
bringing one this.
Oh no, it's there.
Oh, you're
sorry.
going to be hot as hell this weekend too. You just got out the sun. You going right back in it.
It's there.
Yeah, I can't hide from it this weekend.
Yeah, you got a bucket
I
hat.
Get the
hate
bucket hat.
Bucket hat,
Yep.
towel around the neck,
Yep.
tucked into the shirt.
Oh yeah, seen the look a million times.
Sunglasses on.
All right, mistake of the day brought to you by Dozy Place.
Mistake of the day brought to you by Doe's Eat Place is this might be the Paul Skeens effect. Pirates fan was arrested for stealing an 82-foot yacht, taking it down the Allegheny River.
Wow.
This man somehow, this is the quotes from the man who owned the boat. He goes, somehow this guy got on the boat. Then they must have tried to start the engines because they have my diesel engine book open on the bed, like he was trying to figure out how to start the engine. So Fisher, who was the man charged with the crime, apparently couldn't figure out. Police say he untied the yacht, let it drift a mile down the Allegheny River until it crashed to the river wall and nearly hit a river rescue building. Thank God nobody got hurt. No damage was done except to the boat. It went underneath 4 bridges, and so we could have had a potential situation again, which seems to be the theme in 2024, where boats are taking out bridges. But this is going back to the man that owned the boat. He goes, the Fisher, he was sitting right there, laying back, passed out, pistachio nuts everywhere, and a bottle of rum completely drank. He just left a little bit at the bottom. So this guy was just hammered, wanted to take the boat, and his quote was,
what a ride.
He goes, I wanted to go meet some Pittsburgh Pirates players. He goes, that was my goal. So,
How old was this guy?
I don't know.
Wow, what a ride. What a story this guy's going to have.
Yeah, you got to be legit hammered. And then he took
shit.
down another 5th on the boat. It was like, dude, let's get this book out, see how I can get this thing fired up.
That's tough.
Yeah, probably going to jail.
Good mistake of the day. You got a curtain call?
I
Brought
do.
to you by our friends at Assured Partners.
And
Me.
Oh.
curtain call. Golf, it seems to be in good hands, albeit young hands. A 15-year-old, Miles Russell, who's made a start on the Korn Ferry Tour with the sponsors exemption, who made the cut, finished like top 10 or top 15, earned his way onto the PGA Tour, and it looks like he makes the cut after he shot 66 today.
So did he qualify for?
Yeah, with the Korn Ferry one, it got him the ability to play on this PGA Tour event.
Oh, so just as one event. He's not. He doesn't
Yeah,
have his
he
tour
doesn't have
card
status.
yet. Okay,
No,
yeah.
but he is well on his way to being a.
So and he's not even on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's just
A
won an exemption for
15-year-old
the Korn Ferry and then qualified. Is that how it works, or is he
Yeah.
on the Korn Ferry Tour? He's not pro.
No, he's not. So he got a sponsorship exemption into the Korn Ferry because
Okay.
they're like, this kid's 15.
Yeah,
Cool
he's really
story.
good.
He's really good. And then with that performance, he's like, dude, you got an opportunity to play on a PGA Tour event. And he's like, I would love to go do that. And
He's gonna make the cut.
he's going to make the cut, and he won't be able to get any money because he's an amateur. But,
All right, made the cut.
but he could turn pro
Could
and then
turn
get the
pro.
money.
Wow, that's impressive.
He's not gonna do that though. I don't think. I think he wants to go to college. Go enjoy his time, kid. All right, my curtain call is to, and this is what when I saw when we saw the video. Brings back really good memories of the clubhouse, right? Because this is a AAA clubhouse. This is Norfolk, Virginia. AAA prospect
Norfolk?
Junkinsey Noel gets called up, right? So usually whenever that happens, you get to watch the game. If the guy's in the lineup that gets called up and he starts, the game's gonna be all over the locker room. So they're watching their boy.
They're in a rain delay.
They're in a rain delay, so they get to watch
They're all
their
in the
boy
clubhouse,
play.
yeah.
And they're all in the clubhouse. Look, rain delays. You listen to music. You do this kind of stuff. You play cards. You do all this stuff. And this video shows it all, right? It shows this guy was well liked in the clubhouse, obviously. These guys are having fun. He's French homer. He pans out. Guys are just on the ground, cards on the table. What a scene. That's everybody wonders. Hey,
What a selly. Look at this. I've never seen that before. He just hit it with a hell yeah, dude. I can feel the boys.
I love that.
So
But that's
all-time
it.
moment.
If you're wondering what they do in the locker room before games, during rain delays, that's it. Lay down, watch TV, watch your boys play cards.
Especially when he's freshly up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the boys are watching. The boys
Yeah.
are locked
So
in.
that's my current coach. That's pretty cool.
They probably have the MLB ticket.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least in the clubhouse for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or, yeah.
Somebody's got it.
My curtain call.
Somebody that's been up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Today's different, man. The boys make a little bit of money now.
Yeah, that's right.
Way more than they did before.
That's right.
My curtain call, since it is the aforementioned wedding that we just mentioned, I'm a little technologically
Challenged.
challenged in this situation. So all I was able to do is actually get the picture up here and not the video. But my curtain call is to former LSU pitcher, now attorney at law, Christopher Matulis, and this is him having himself a
Can you put it on there?
Oh, you put it in the doc?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just he
Let me
just
refresh.
copied and pasted a picture.
Having himself a time at the wedding. So
He's always having a good time.
Oh, here it is.
I wish you got the video.
I know I couldn't get the video in there.
I'm trying to see. Hold on. I have to save it and everything. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, it doesn't have the right
Format.
formatted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's
okay.
all right.
It's part of it. It's all right.
Oops. I didn't give our producer enough time.
Just think about it. Imagine
Think
a guy,
about it.
6
Think
foot
about
6
it. So
guy
if
in
we
the
can
stands
get this in there,
with a
you'll see
tux.
and be like, huh?
Yeah, that's it. All right, enjoy y'all's weekend. I think some weather. It's gonna be hot. I don't know if y'all are traveling for the 4th of July. If you're spending a whole weekend at the beach, enjoy. Be safe. We will see you on Monday. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Oh my God, he's doing it.
This is awesome. I love, dude, that there's just like no rules. As long as you don't really steal a boat or get in trouble in any which way, you could really kind of
Steal a boat.
have your pick of the litter of what you want to do at a wedding. And there's always somebody.
especially when it's like out of like area, different area, country. Places
Especially when, like,
places probably not gonna go back
When people
again.
just know you're a good time too, because then they realize like we know what we're getting.
And you only get this, like, you used to get this a lot. Now, that's a video. That's a picture. It could be a video. It is a video, but that... Very funny. And he wasn't just hanging out. He was...
He didn't just get up there and just look out like he was on the deck of a boat.
He was getting after
He was
it.
getting
So,
I love it.
he used to do this a lot when we were younger. Now
Not
he's
in
married.
trees, but you know.
He's
used to
got...
have
he's
him
got-
always something.
There's always something.
He's married with kids now, and so...
Well, they aren't with me.
you only get that every so often. And when you get it, it's a treasure. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
He's a great time. He's a great dude, great friend.
Great friend. All right. Enjoy y'all's weekend. Love y'all. Peace.
Deuces.